I have a riddle for some of you. What do you think is the four-letter word that a lot of people are terrified of? It's not what you think, so stay tuned. Today, we're going to talk about home. H is in Harry, O is in Oscar, M is in Michael, E is in Edward. I want to talk about the true definition of home and why some people are terrified of this word. Home and a house, two totally different things. I don't care what anybody tells you. They say home is where the heart is. That's true. A house is a dwelling, but home is not only a dwelling, but it's a state of mind. You have peace at home. You have comfort at home. You are at home when you go to someone's house that you're used to going to all the time. They'll tell you, make yourself at home. When you get ready to get off work and you hit that time clock, you exhale and tell your coworkers, oh man, boy, I tell you, it's another day under our belt, but boy, I can't wait to get home. When you say that word home, you feel a sense of relief. But for some people, it's a place of terror. I'm only going to give you one instance in which it's a place of terror. And this is in regards to relationships. There are some people that never go straight home. From whatever it is they're doing during the day, they will never go straight home. Because it doesn't feel like home to them. They're not comfortable there. If they once were comfortable, they're not anymore because of what exists when they stick the key in the door. I mentioned in a previous audio, I made a quick reference to the gentleman who was so miserable in his life, with his home life, with his mate, that he would spend an hour or two after work every single day, 5-6 days a week, either going to the beach and sitting and watching the waves, or going to the bar, or going to a friend's house, or going to his girlfriend's house. Yeah. And that's not a good look. You'd be surprised how many people that you probably see every single day in their home life is not happy. Things could have been great in the beginning, but somewhere along the way, things got a little confused. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you have heard from different people on different occasions that if you don't have peace at home, you can't have peace anywhere. That's just not a euphemism, folks. That's the truth. It is the truth. Because think about it. You're going to work all day long, clocking hours, making money, so you could take care of things in a home that you're not even comfortable in. You're paying the rent or the mortgage, you're paying for the utilities, you're paying the insurance, property taxes. You're providing food in there for whoever lives in there, or if you live alone. But you're not even comfortable with what you're paying for. So basically, you're working in vain. You're working for something that you do not want, that you have, but you don't want. You're putting in 40, 50 hours a week to pay for something that you could barely tolerate. At what point in your life do you think things need to change? Is it a situation where there's someone there who shouldn't be there? Or is it a situation that somebody is there and you just want things to change between the two of you? At what day and time do you intend to make that change? Because, see, it starts with you. Finger pointing never works. Because what happens is in most cases, when you start finger pointing and telling the person what they shouldn't do, they're going to come back at you and point their finger at you and tell you what you shouldn't do. And there's never any resolution to that conflict. You just keep having the same argument over and over and over and over again. And there is no tension and there's hardly any peace in that household. So at what point does it stop? Does it stop when you finally decide to have a sit down and both of you realize how tired you are of the whole situation and try to actively make a change? It may require some additional intervention. Maybe you have to go to a third party and have them help open up the communication again between the two of you because it broke down. Sometimes it's good to have the objective view of a third party to kind of help guide you through these things. Because if you're involved in a relationship with someone you love, be it son, daughter, spouse, mother, father, whatever the case may be, just because you're connected because of that relationship, that doesn't mean everything's going to be gumdrops and lollipops all the time. There are going to be disagreements and conflicts. So, and that's a part of growth, and that's a part of, the relationship evolving. It's a chance for you to get to know each other better. There's some good things that can come out of conflicts. But the problem comes in is when you're having the same conflict about the same thing all of the time and no changes have been made. That's where the damage comes from. Nobody wants to come home to the same problems that have not been addressed, that have not been handled, and the same words and the same attitude coming from the same people. Because they're not going to feel welcome. They're not going to feel relaxed. The stress level is going to be higher. So what a lot of people do is they figure, oh, Lord, I already know what's going to be waiting for me when they get home. So instead of going straight home to avoid the stress and postpone encountering the impending stress, they go somewhere else. And that somewhere else might be a place where they have no business. Not premeditated, but because they're under stress. See, people have to understand when we are under stress, we are in an altered state of mind when we are under extreme stress. We're either going to fight, we're going to fly, or we're going to freeze. Either we're going to put everything to a stop, we're going to run away from it, or we're going to fight the situation. Rational thought goes out the window when you're under extreme stress. So a lot of these people, if they already know that there is an uncomfortable situation going on at home when they finish work or school and they're supposed to be going straight home, a lot of them don't go straight home. Some of them have to take that additional time just to reset their mind in a place where they can tolerate the drama. And the only way to solve it is instead of just pointing fingers, you got to start working with you and how you're looking at this situation. Start asking yourself, what can I do to change the dynamic? Regardless of what the other person's doing, forget that. Forget what the other person's doing. Or if you're in a situation where you live alone and you just don't like being alone, think, what can I do to change that? I don't feel fulfilled. How can I behave in a different way that'll bring out different results? It goes back to me saying, home is a state of mind. I hear people tell me all the time, oh, when I go back home to Savannah, sometimes they'll say, oh, you can come back home anytime. I live in Virginia, Hampton Roads, Virginia. And this is, I think, the third time that I've come back here to live. And I decided when I came back here a few years ago, I said that I was going to come back here and stay here. I wasn't going anywhere else because in my mind, this is home. A lot of the things that I suffered as an adult, a lot of the major things that I had to endure, I endured while I was here. And it fits for me. It's my choice of where I want to live and where I want to be. Savannah is my birthplace. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. I think it's a beautiful place. That's the place where I was born and raised. But it's not my home. Home is where you are most peaceful at. Home is a state of mind. So for some people, home is not a four-letter word that they like nowadays. But it all starts with you. Just saying.